your first listen every day. Make sure you make Locked On Sports Today your second listen, your biggest stories of the day, instant reactions, big game recaps, and the take of the day, available Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever you get all of your podcasts from. So the way the All-Star game last night, and I'll be honest with you, the NBA All-Star game, I didn't really pay too much attention to it. I didn't watch the skills competition. I did watch McClung make do the dunk contest. He was pretty good and all that. But the way the NBA All-Star game last night devolved into, it became not just a 3-point contest, but it became a half-court 3-point contest. It looked like in between quarters what the Hawks do, where they bring some jabron out and have him shoot a half-court shot and see if he can win, some money for all of it. So that's what it devolved into, Well, a lot of defense, obviously, and, the All-Star game is what it is. But it certainly would have been fun to have Trae Young be a part of all of that because of the way that the game played itself out. It would have been fun. Now, obviously, Steph has got injuries and things like that, so he wasn't available, right? So it would have been fun to have Trae Young out there for the way that game ended up being played. Listen, Trae's the master of the logo three, right? And near half court threes and things like that, right? The long distance threes that Trae Young makes, on a maybe semi-regular basis this year, based upon some of the numbers and the stats that he's got. It's not been his best shooting year this year, but it would have been fun for him to be a part of the way that game played out. Because I'll be honest with you, that game wasn't really. I was more interested in the WWE on A&E biography of the NWO. Even though I know everything about the NWO that there is, I was still more interested in that than what the actual All-Star game was. And, Team Giannis ended up beating Team LeBron. Giannis was out. LeBron ended up not playing in the second half because of injury and different things like that. So you saw Tatum and Jaylen Brown and these guys just start launching threes everywhere, right? Donovan Mitchell. I mean, they were just hucking them up from whatever distance. And literally it devolved into, okay, let's see who can make the most half-court shots. It should have been one of those things where, remember in the old days of the MTV All-Star game, right? That MTV used to do like a celebrity game or something like that. And they would have like a 10-point shot or a 4-point shot, besides just your twos and your threes. They'd have all these gimmick shots, right? I think the biggest one was a 10-point shot that they had. It would have been more fun to just kind of do it like that. That just put spots on the floor and give it into just playing into the whole gimmick idea of it. But Trae would have been one of the guys that the way that game played out would have been fun and exciting to see what he did. But alas, I mean, we can debate the merits of whether or not Trae Young should have been an All-Star. I think he should have been an All-Star reserve. I mean, you're 27 points and 10 assists. And with all due respect, I mean, Julius Randle and some of these other guys, okay. I mean, they're big-time players, but are they any bigger than what Trae Young is? I mean, I just think that Trae Young deserved a spot to be on the All-Star reserve team. When you look at what he's done, yes, he's not having his best shooting year, but his numbers are still there. He's still a premier passing guy, assist guy. He's still a guy that's a high-volume scorer. And I do believe this, that the lack of team success, and I talked to Kurt Heelan from NBC Sports, NBA writer for them, about this on Friday night on my radio show, that they are one of the more disappointing teams in the NBA right now. Now, there's some other teams that are in that mix as well, but they certainly went into the season with the expectation of being better. And with DeJounte Murray, Trae Young would have more opportunity to both create and score, and it just hasn't worked itself out yet. And it just hasn't played out the way that we as fans thought it would play out. And that's kind of the, when you talk to a guy like Kurt Helin, he's got the national pulse and national perspective of things. And so when you have a disappointing franchise like the Hawks are, and they're not living up to expectations, guys aren't going to get the benefit of the doubt. A guy like Trae Young, he may be exciting and he may be a guy that's, deserves his accolades and things like that, but he's not going to get the benefit of the doubt when you have a mediocre franchise. And he's not that established star yet. When I say that, a guy like DeMar DeRozan has been to 6 All-Star games already. Certainly more of what a name is or what his reputation is. He may not be exactly the same player that Trae Young is, but he's got more of the long-term reputation that guys will go to him or gravitate to him, whether it's, Trae was, I think, toward the very bottom of guards, when it came to player voting. His peers did not give him any kind of bouquets or anything like that. And maybe that they point the lack of team success sort of on the shoulders of Trae. Whether that's fair or not, whether that's how it really played out or anything like that, the reality is still that Trae Young finished toward the very bottom amongst his peers when it came to voting, right? There's a fan vote, there's a player vote, right? There's these different avenues for voting. When it came to the player vote, he was toward the bottom of the All-Star voting. Do I think that Trae Young should have been an All-Star? Yes. I do think that when you look at the Eastern Conference or just the NBA as a whole, right? Is he having a better year than Luka or some of these other guys? Is he having a better year than Donovan Mitchell? No, probably not. But that still doesn't mean that he shouldn't be an All-Star, that he still shouldn't be a representative of the All-Star team. So with the way that game devolved and it evolved into, or whatever you want to say about it, where it became basically a logo or half-court three-point contest, Trae would have been the perfect guy to have with all of that. That would have been the perfect opportunity or the perfect kind of scenario for Trae Young to be a part of it. But alas, Trae Young wasn't a part of all of this. I want to talk about my friends over at Built Bar. Listen, if you head to built.com today, right, we're looking for all of those low sugar, low carb, low calorie, but high protein types of snacks as we're getting in shape and getting healthier for the new year. Head to built.com today. You can find all of your favorite flavors there. And of course, the marshmallow puffs, the different kind of protein bar. If you're just not into traditional protein bars, try the marshmallow puffs. It's still got the 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, but the 17 grams of protein to go along with it. And now you can head over to Walmart, go to the pharmacy section, pick you up a box of Built Bars, or you can go to Sam's Club and pick you up a box of Built Bars. So whether you want to go the brick and mortar route or you want to go the online route, now you have more options available to you. Go to built.com, check out all the different flavors that they have, and now you can head to Walmart, Sam's Club, check out all the different flavors that they have there at the stores. Go to built.com today.